It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you, and welcome to the Science Bowl. Today, two great elementary schools playing our game. Let's meet them now. Here from Avalon Elementary School, their first appearance ever on Science Bowl, we welcome the contestants Desiree McCraw, Amina Vargas, and Ashley Nelson. And from William Hall Elementary, please welcome to our program Hamza Shitu, Christian Jones, and Suntaya Nix. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects the difficulty of the questions. The easier questions are on the left, worth 5 and 10 points. The tougher ones worth 15, 20, and 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds today, one of these 2 grade teams will come back to play Highbridge for the chance to move on to this year's elementary school semifinals. Let's make sure everything works properly. Let's go to the red team. And ladies, you have tried your buzzer. That's just what we wanted to see. Good luck to you, to Ashley, and to Desiree. And Christian, would you try your buzzer? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Hamza, and to Suntaya. All right. Let's go over and we go alphabetically, A before W. So Avalon, you get to play the game. Start us out. Amina, give me a category and a number.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points to start our game. Teams, a lot of people think pandas are related to dogs, but because they are in a group called Ursidae, they are also related to these other animals that we normally think of when we think of pandas. Avalon.
Bears.
Bears, the panda bear. Sure, everybody thinks they're bears anyhow, but there are some quirks in panda anatomy that make it seem like maybe it's more dog or raccoon-like. Okay, Avalon, go again.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, the character in the Masters of the Universe that has perfect camouflage is a man that is covered with this green plant that normally we associate with growing on the north side of a tree. Avalon.
Moss.
Mr. Moss is that character. Yes, indeed. Good. Go. Red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, if you take a green leaf and you boil it in alcohol, the leaf will turn white. You will bleach it as what green coloring substance leaches out of the leaf into the alcohol? All right, William Hall.
Chloroplast.
Again?
Chloroplast.
A version of that, please. Judges? No. Avalon, can you give me the name of the green coloring substance that will leach out of a boiled leaf into the alcohol as the leaf turns white? It's chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. The chloroplast is the cellular organelle where the chlorophyll is in. I'm sorry we couldn't give that to you. That was a nice try, though. Last correct answer came from the red team. So, Avalon, would you pick again, please?
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, despite Warner Brothers cartoons, coyotes rarely make an effort to catch these speedy avians. Avalon.
Roadrunners.
Roadrunners, that's right. Coyotes, they may eat the occasional roadrunner, but that is not a staple of the coyote diet, despite that cartoon. Okay, red again.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, you might say that the characters in the Avatar movie have cyanocytes in their cells because their skin is what color? Avalon?
Blue.
Blue. Cyan, C-Y-A-N, is a prefix denoting blue. Okay, good listening skills there. Go red.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo parade for 15 points. Teams, it probably is not surprising that these insects have a taste for alcohol, since they like to feed on fermenting fruit like the rotting bananas found in your kitchen. What insects are they, Avalon?
Fruit flies.
Fruit flies, absolutely right. They're all over the place. You try to catch them and, you know, it's like grabbing at air. You can never grab them. And we never know where they come from. They're just there. Go red.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. Teams, what kind of cat is Sir Purr, the mascot of the Carolina National Football League team that feeds on Seahawks and Falcons? All right, William Hall.
Panther.
Panthers, that's right. Sir Purr is a panther. Go green.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. Teams, never try this. Don't put this body part against a cold pole, because your saliva will freeze and you'll be stuck there,
tongue.
William Hall.
Tongue.
The tongue, that's right. Don't put your tongue on that cold pole, because yes, you will stick. Go green.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, on the day of the winter solstice, which is the shortest day of the year, this imaginary line that goes through the earth from pole to pole is tilted. Avalon?
No, it's not the equator, because the equator goes around.
Ladies?
Equator.
Not the equator, no. William Hall, on the day of the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, this imaginary line that goes through the earth from pole to pole is tilted far away from the sun.
Axis?
Axis is what I want to hear. Yes, indeed. Good. Good answer. Go. Green.
Body systems for 15.
Body systems, 15 points. Teams, the place on the eye's retina where there are no photoreceptors and where your optic nerve begins is the spot known as the what spot? The blind spot, no photoreceptors. It's a place where you can see nothing. The buzzer is rung. That means the first round is over. You've done very well. Avalon is at 90, William Hall at 75. We'll be back with round 2 in just a moment. Stay with us. And welcome back to Science Bowl. We hope you're able to keep up with our 6 fine students here today. They're playing splendidly. Let's find out about them. Let's go first to Avalon Elementary School. In Avalon, this is our 24th year of Science Bowl, the first time we've ever seen you. So you're real trailblazers over there. And we can see we've been missing a lot because you play our game so well. Tell us about Avalon. Who's your principal, Amina?
Our principal is Dr. Bruce.
Wonderful. And where is Avalon?
Avalon is over there in Fort Washington.
Fort Washington is the southern part of Prince George's County. Not far from, I think, is it Crossland High School?
Yes.
Very good. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Our sponsor is Miss Alzate.
And Miss Alzate actually came and volunteered as a judge on our Science Bowl, and a spot opened up, so we're very happy that you were able to take it this year. Did you have any alternates on your team?
Yes, our alternates were Evan Gore, Lontrese Simmons, and Jonathan LeGrant.
And we'll bring them out and Miss Alzate in just a few moments so everyone can meet them. Now, you're all dressed so nicely today. Is that your school uniform?
Yes.
Yes, it looks very professional. Tell me about yourself, Amina. I know you have such poise over there, and this is going to serve you well because you want to be an entertainer someday, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Singer, dancer, actress, and this young lady also plays the trombone, so you're very musically inclined. How do you come by all your science knowledge?
Well, my dad helps me learning in science because he used to major in science when he was in college.
Very good. I know he's very proud of you, and I know you have a younger brother and sister who are very proud of you, too. Ashley, nice to have you with us today. Young lady who wants to go to culinary school and open her own Caribbean restaurant someday. And you like to cook, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. What's your specialty? Do you have a specialty? If someone says, can you... Go ahead.
Omelets.
Omelets? Ah, what do you put in your omelets that make them so good?
Just anything they want in it.
Ah, okay. So you customize the omelet. That's the omelet bars. That's right. What do you get at a Caribbean restaurant? What's a good Caribbean restaurant entree?
For entree, you can get coconut dinner.
And what is that?
It's where you boil fish and other ingredients down in coconut water.
Ah, you boil the fish. Wow, okay. That sounds interesting. Well, I wish you luck. We'll be looking for... You have a name for your restaurant yet?
G&M's.
What is it?
G&M's.
What's that mean?
My grandfather's restaurant was named that.
Ah, very good. All right. And Desiree, nice to have you with us. You too are an entertainer. You play the alto sax. You'd like to get into showbiz as well. What inspired you to do that?
I don't know. I just want to entertain people.
Yeah. Well, you're doing that right now for the people at home. They're watching and they're holding their breath and they're yelling answers at you, but you can't hear them. But you're doing a nice job here today. William Hall, nice to have you guys with us in your matching school uniform color of light blue over there. And Christian, I know Glenda Washington, your principal's down there, and she is a big fan of Science Bowl, and she's a great lady. And the sponsor of your team, Marilyn Quo, also has been sending us great teams over the years. Your school is relatively new, is it not?
Yes.
Yes. And who is the, well, you told us, I told you who your sponsor and principal are. Tell me what you like best about William Hall, Christian.
What I like best about William Hall are the activities.
Like what? What do you participate in other than Science Bowl?
Band, basketball.
And what instrument do you play, Christian?
I play the clarinet.
You play the clarinet. Very good. All right. What do you hope to do someday?
I hope to be a scientist.
Scientist, yes. I know you do experiments at home. You have your own equipment, and you're a really serious-minded young man, and I wish you luck and keep playing our game so well. Hamza, nice to have you here today. You jumped right on that Sir Purr question. You must be a football fan. You must know your teams. Tell me, what do you want to do someday, young man?
I want to be a football player or a basketball player.
Oh, I see. All right. This tells me where you're coming from, why you knew that. Why'd you want to be on Science Bowl?
Well, because if football and basketball don't work out, I want to be an astronomist.
Smart man. Always have a fallback plan, a plan B in case things don't work out. Do you have your own telescope?
No.
No, that would be a nice...
But I don't really use it that much.
I see. Okay. And Suntaya, nice to have you with us today. Tell us your story. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a veterinarian.
Yeah, and you told me you have a pet rabbit. What's your pet's name?
Fluffy.
Fluffy. Oh, that's a perfect name. And how long have you had Fluffy?
For about 2 or 3 months.
Okay, so relatively new. And what is it about rabbits that you know now that you didn't know before?
Their hair get nappy.
See, these little things you wouldn't know. Hair gets nappy. All right. I remember having guinea pigs, and they were a little fractious. They would bite every once in a while. And I thought, hey, don't bite the hand that feeds you here. You know? Think that's not smart. Nice to have you with us. You have a great smile, too. You look like you're enjoying yourself. Let's get back to our game. Avalon 90, William Hall 75. Last correct answer came from the green team. So, Christian, start us out.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Teams, what satanic marsupial that lives off the coast of Australia suffers from a kind of facial cancer that may lead to its disappearance? Name that satanic marsupial. Avalon.
Kangaroo.
Not the kangaroo. Good try. What satanic marsupial lives off the coast of Australia and suffers from a facial cancer that could lead to its disappearance, William Hall?
Rats.
Yes. What?
Rats.
No. Do you know? What is Satan? Devil. Tasmanian devil. That's what we're after there, the Tasmanian devil. Go green. William Hall.
Let's get physical. Let's get physical for 5.
Let's get physical for 5 points. Teams of all 8 planets, because Pluto's not there anymore, of all 8 planets in our solar system, which one could we call the Lord of the Rings? Avalon.
Saturn.
Saturn is the Lord of the Rings. Even though others, other than Saturn, do have rings like Neptune and Uranus, not nearly as many or as pronounced. Red.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, on CSI, sometimes they have forensic palynologists. These are plant experts who study what kind of sticky plant reproductive part that if found on a body can tell where and when that person died. What plant part would be stuck to that person? Pollen grains. Pollen grains. Pollen is well nigh indestructible. And of course, pollen is produced at different times of the year, so you could kind of date it and you could kind of work backwards. Okay, try red again.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, the tallest building in the world now is the Burj Khalifa in the hot country of Dubai. It's over half of a mile up into the sky. I'll give you 10 points if you can tell me where on the outside of that building would it be the coolest? Avalon?
Would it be the middle?
The middle?
Not the middle. Good try. William Hall, the tallest building of the world now in the hot country of Dubai. It's a half a mile straight up into the sky. Where on the outside would it be the coolest?
The top?
The top, absolutely right, because the air is so thin up there. Hot air rises, but you get so high, the air gets so thin that the heat can't be held anymore. Good answer. Okay, go green.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams, Alfred Nobel and Anders Celsius both came from the country of Sweden. One of those men invented dynamite. What did the other one do? Avalon.
Invent the thermometer.
Absolutely right. The Celsius thermometer scale. Good. Go. Red.
Okay. Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, if you can believe it, it was way back in 1845 that an astronomer by the name of John Herschel, he came up with the very first one of these that could be attached directly to the cornea of your eye. A contact lens. A contact lens. Try again, red.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, wouldn't you know it? Now that the pandemic seems to have slackened, there is lots of this vaccine now just waiting on the shelves and not enough takers. Avalon?
Swine flu.
Swine flu, H1N1. Everyone was all up in the arms about that because there wasn't enough. Now there's too much and people are not availing themselves of it. Red.
Let's get physical for 15.
The physical for 15 points. Teams, the ice caps on the planet Mars are mostly made up of dry ice, which is really a frozen variety of what gas? Avalon?
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Frozen CO2 is the dry ice, indeed. Good. Go.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25. The big one in that category, teams. Listen carefully. Interesting question. Sometimes lizards that normally walk on 4 legs will stand up on 2 legs and run fast to get away from a predator. Thing is, they actually can run faster on 4 legs. But since lizards are poikilothermic, by standing up on 2 legs, how does that help them? How does it help them, William Hall?
Get their balance?
Not get their balance. Good try. Since lizards are poikilothermic, standing up on 2 legs helps them to do what? Doesn't help them run faster.
Make them look bigger.
That's an interesting idea. Poikilothermic refers to heat. And since lizards sometimes have to get rid of excess heat, by standing up they can lose heat rather than staying close to the ground. That was a very tough question, but you came up with credible answers there. Go again, red.
Zoo parade for, body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, your heart is actually a double pump. The left-hand pump sends blood out to most of the rest of your body, but the right-hand pump of your heart sends blood directly to what organ? Brain. William Hall?
Brain?
Not the brain, nope. The right-hand pump of your heart sends blood exclusively directly to what organ? Yes, ma'am.
To your lungs.
To your lungs, absolutely right, because it's got to get rid of all of the waste material it's picked up on its return to the heart. Boy, that was a soft answer. I don't think you were too confident, but that was what I wanted to hear. Go red.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points. Teams, it was back in 1996 that the geneticist Ian Wilmot in Scotland introduced the world to Dolly. Dolly was a sheep. The first sheep, in fact, the first animal ever to have been reproduced what way? Avalon.
Clone.
Cloned. It was the cloned sheep. Dolly. And the next year, another one came out. Polly the sheep. Good. Red. Thank you, Ashley, for your help there.
Green things for 20.
Green things for 20 points. Teams, a multiple choice question. The surface of the leaf of a lotus plant is hydrophobic. Does that mean that the surface of that leaf curls up when an insect alights on it, that light will reflect directly from it when it hits, or water will be repelled from the surface? William Hall.
It will curl up.
Will not curl up. Nope. The lotus leaf is hydrophobic, meaning what, Amina?
Water will be repelled.
Absolutely right. Hydro is a prefix that means water. Phobic means, oh, phobe, go away. So it repels water. Red, good.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25, big one in that category. Teams, the biggest tree in the world is the giant sequoia. It is a kind of cypress tree, and it keeps its leaves all year round, meaning that the giant sequoia is part of what larger group of trees? Yes, come on, William, you need these.
Redwood?
No, not redwoods. What larger group of trees would we say that the giant sequoia belongs to, because it's a kind of cypress that keeps its leaves all year round? Yes, ma'am. No, you may answer.
May I refer to Ashley?
Certainly. Ashley?
Carnivorous?
Say it again.
Carnivorous?
I think you're trying to say coniferous. That's what we were. Carnivorous is when you eat meat, but conifers, that's so close. I'm sorry we can't give you a two, but coniferous is right. Coniferous or evergreen tree is what we were looking for there. Go again, red.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. This is a very interesting question. Teams, on the planet of Venus, since it revolves faster than it rotates, this time period on Venus is actually shorter than its day. Avalon.
Year?
It's year, absolutely right, because revolving entails the year period, and a rotation is its daily period. You're listening carefully, ladies. That's what I like to see. Go red.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, a multiple choice question. Teams, the White Sands National Monument in New Mexico is all sand. It's all white, and the lizards that live there have all adapted. Their genes have changed so that they're all white, so that they blend in and they are camouflaged. Some of the lizards have the mutated gene as a dominant gene. Some other species have it as which of the following? A secondary gene, a reluctant gene, or a recessive gene? Avalon.
Secondary gene?
Not secondary, good try. Is it a reluctant gene, a secondary gene, or a recessive gene that is the opposite of the dominant gene?
Reluctant gene?
It's the recessive gene. Recessive gene is what we're looking for. Uh-oh, the buzzer has rung. That means our game is over. We'll tally it up again and check with the judges. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Nice game today. 6 outstanding young people. We are proud of all of them. Our final tally today is William Hall 85, Avalon 205. What a debut performance. We've waited 24 years for this. Congratulations, Desiree, Amina, and Ashley. You're going on to the next round. And look at the shadow team back there. Jonathan and Evan and Lontrice, Miss Bosley and Miss Mercy Alzate. I know how proud you are of this team. Congratulations. Let's see some smiles over there, guys. You never gave up. You played a good game. Santaya, you've been smiling the whole time. I loved having you here. Christian, you're a great young man. You're going to be a good scientist. Hamza, I'm going to see you on the football field someday. Giovanni, nice to have you with us. Miss Quo, always nice to have you and William Hall on our show. Nice to have you here as well. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye now.